Baseball in the Boroughs is brought to you by Verizon. With my plan, get exactly what you want and only pay for what you need. The final Subway Series of the 2023 season is in the books, and the final game was a Yankees win. They beat the Mets 3-1 behind a solid performance from Carlos Rodon. So let's bring in Anthony Rivera, the host of the Subway to Shea podcast, to break it all down. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. So Rodon, he struggled in his first 3 outings this season. He had an ERA of over 7 in those games, but tonight he allowed just 1 run over 5+ innings. So how was he able to just shut down the Mets bats?
They definitely got them down to a lot of 0-2 counts. I know the Mets had a couple of times earlier on in the game where they had a couple of men on base. I know Lindor had a line drive out, then a big strikeout of Pete Alonso. And then the Mets weren't just able to capitalize on anything. And it's just frustrating to see this team struggle the way they do. So much inconsistency. They even had him on the ropes later on in the game, and they couldn't capitalize. Mark Canha worked out a huge walk, and then the next pitch, Francisco Alvarez grounds into a double play. So it's the inconsistencies from this offense that has plagued them all season long and led to, Rodon cruising and getting that win tonight.
And on the other side, Jose Quintana made just his second start after returning from injury. Despite the loss, he struck out 5 and only allowed 2 earned runs. So what do you make of his performance, and how concerning is it that this offense just goes quiet when they're really needed?
Considering that Quintana has come back from the IL and missed most of the season, his first 2 starts have been very encouraging. He went 6 innings tonight, and I thought that that's something that the Mets needed, especially since they had to go into the bullpen and mess around a lot last night with the bullpen, getting David Robertson in the game. But Quintana has looked really good. It's just what you want to see, because we haven't gotten a lot from Carlos Carrasco, and Max Scherzer has been struggling. So if you can get Quintana, and like we saw the other night from Verlander, and obviously Kodai Senga as well, that's a nice start for the Mets to get their starting rotation in order. When it comes to the offense, it's the inconsistency. I keep bringing this up, even when I talk with Dexter. The inconsistencies from this offense, and you saw it with Pete Alonso last night, 2 home runs, a big game. Tonight, he struck out a couple times and just did not have a good game offensively. And the whole offense is struggling. Lindor, McNeil, everyone is struggling offensively, and they're like Jekyll and Hyde. One game they'll be great, the next game they'll be terrible. It's just that's tough watch.
For sure, and so we're going to close that chapter, though. Moving on, next up, the Mets will welcome the Nationals to Citi Field for 4 games. Washington sits just below New York in the NL East. So how important will it be for the Mets to string together some wins in this upcoming series?
Is it too much for me to ask for a sweep? They definitely need to sweep these 4 games if they even want to have a chance for, to think that they're going to go to the playoffs or get back into contention. They don't sweep this last place Nationals team, and I don't see them at least trying to buy a reliever. They're going to be in full sell mode at some point, and if they do not sweep the Nationals, I can see that happening very, very soon. I hope that they can win 4 games in a row, but they haven't shown us enough to do that at all.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That series kicks off Thursday night. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Emma Kate. Appreciate it.